If you've ever taken a low poly model and then added a subdivision surface and everything just melted, it doesn't mean you're bad at Blender, it just means you're missing one key idea. And once you understand it, detailed modeling suddenly starts to make sense. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to go from more simple low poly modeling to detailed high poly modeling. So we'll take the default cube as our example. Now currently it's obviously low poly and it's got these very hard, crisp edges. And that's kind of unrealistic. You don't get this kind of sharpness in the real world. Everything in the real world has a kind of beveled, soft edge. And the way we do that is with the one modifier that you've probably heard of before. It's the Subdivision Surface Modifier. So if I go across to my modifiers just at the side here, by clicking on my spanner or wrench if you're American, add modifier. And if we start typing in sub, you can see there's the Subdivision Surface Modifier at the top there. I'll click on that and I'll just bring this out so you can see exactly what that looks like. And this is currently one level. At one level, it takes every face and divides it into four, and it also smooths the shape out, so it's turning it into a bit of a ball. I'll just go into edit mode with tab, so that's edit mode up here, and you can see the original cube there. So you can see how it's taking each face and dividing it into four. If I turn the levels in the viewport up to 2, you can see it's taken each of those subdivided faces and subdivided them into 4 once again. And if I turn it up once more, we take each of those faces and divide them into 4 again. So this is exponential. Incidentally, the viewport is obviously what you see in the viewport and the render is what you see when you render out. So the render should always be at least the same as the viewport. Sometimes people put it up slightly more, so it's even crisper and smoother when they render out. So we've smoothed out our shape and we've now got a ball. But how do we create sharp edges? Well, it's all to do with what are called proximity loops or supporting loops. I'll show you what I mean. If I do a loop cut across the middle here, so Control R is the command for loop cuts, I'll left click once to set that in place and you can see my ball changes straight away. And if I now move this towards the front and left click with it near the front like this, and instantly you can see we're creating a crease at the edge just here. That's because this tiny face in here, so if I go to face mode and choose that face, has been divided into 4 to the power of 3. So we've got lots of faces in this short space. They're all getting squeezed together, which creates the edge. And if I go to the end face here and inset it, so I for inset, bring that in slightly, it creates an even sharper edge because we've got this face that's divided into 4 to the power of 3 next to this face, again, the same. So they're all squished together and they create this hard edge. So to create your hard edges, you use extra topology close to the other edge, and that squeezes all the faces together, which creates the hard edges. And if I go into object mode with tab, right click, shade smooth, we've got this lovely shape here. In fact, let's even turn it up a bit more. So we've got this really nice smooth outline there. Now that's not the only way of creating these edges. Let's go back into edit mode and choose the back face here. If I press N on my keyboard and go up to item, you can see there's a mean crease option. Let's bring that right up to 1. You can see that's doing a similar thing to this side. It's pulling the topology towards the edges here, but it's just not quite as nice. And that's to do with the fact that it's not creating any topology. It's just kind of pulling the topology into these edges. It can be a really useful tool, this mean crease, to help you sharpen areas up, but generally speaking, you want to be thinking about these supporting edges or proximity loops like this. So if I bring that down to 0, that will bring it back to here. The other way of creating proximity loops, rather than doing a loop cut and pulling it across and an inset at the end, I can press Control B to bevel. So if I press Control B, bring that out slightly and use the wheel of my mouse to create another one, we've created this nice bevel here. And you can hold down Shift to move that bevel in small increments, so you can bring it right in so it's really tight like this, and you've got a really sharp edge, even sharper than this one, would you believe it? So the bevel is a nice easy way of creating those 2 supporting loops either side of an edge loop. So as another example, if I do another loop cut in the middle here and left click to set that and right click to cancel any movement, what I'll do is I'll bevel that, so Control B, move my mouse out and I'll move it to somewhere like here, select this middle loop here, so that's Alt left click to select the middle loop, scale that right down, and we've got this kind of egg timer looking thing here. If I now bevel this, we should see a sharper edge in the middle here, so Control B to bevel, I'll hold down Shift Just bring that out a little bit, and indeed we've got that nice sharp edge there. I'll just go to object mode so you can see that, and we created a kind of Diablo thing that people put on those strings and sticks. And again, if we go back into edit mode, it's all about these supporting loops that are squashing the faces together, creating what looks like a sharp line. So that is the most important thing that you need to understand when you're trying to go from a low poly shape to a high poly shape. As soon as you add the subdivision surface modifier, you'll get a blobby mess, but then you can sharpen it up by adding proximity loops or just by taking edges and beveling them. Now that is a very simplistic way of looking at it, and you'll come across lots of issues when you try and do this. And that's why I've created a Blender skill builder course, which takes you from the very beginning and basics of low poly box type modeling into detailed low poly modeling, and then into hard surface modeling, where we have much more realism and we start using this idea of proximity loops or supporting loops to create more realistic objects. If you're interested in that and taking your Blender skills to the next level, it's currently on an early access launch discount, which means it's available for this week only for only $10. Check out the link in the description for the coupon code so you can get that discount. So hopefully now you understand how to move from low poly to high poly, and you can start to experiment with that with your Blender models. If you've got any questions, then do comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.